But I always tell people that marketing is not about the numbers. Marketing at its core is not about relationships with customers, with people, with stakeholders. The product itself must work. If the product is not working, people will leave. Right? So after marketing has done all of their one-on-one everything, the product has to work. That was my biggest headache. Box, it should not be old box. It should not be well box, because why are we always having one box or the other? So when you build a solid product, a product that actually solves a problem, growth is almost inevitable.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Pulse of Tech podcast, where we have insightful conversations about building digital products, brands, and teams. Today, we're going to be talking about product marketing and growth and how startups can break into or grow and thrive in spaces where there are already established players. Our guest today is the amazing Ruth Okoli. Ruth is a co-founder and the head of growth and marketing at Nestuge, and she has over 4 years of experience in consulting, working on projects around business growth, strategy, process optimization, and operations. So hi Ruth, welcome to the Pulse of Tech. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening everyone. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. So glad that you're here. Yeah, so let's yeah. Let's just get right into it. So Ruth, can you introduce yourself and share your journey on how you got to where you are now? How you got to be such an amazing person?
Okay, hi. So my name is Ruth. I'm the co-founder and head of growth at Nestuge. I have 4 years experience in consulting, and interesting, people will be like, how are you heading a tech startup, the marketing team, and you don't have background in marketing, right? That's a very valid concern. Me too. I had a concern earlier on, right? But I've done consulting for over, I think right now, about 5 years. I work in one of the big fours, right? So I've done consulting for a long time. I have grown my career across different industries, solving different business problems. Right, and as they tell you, when you work in consulting, you get expertise across almost every area, right? But how did I navigate into marketing and leading a tech startup in Nigeria? For me, the goal for me is business growth, right? So whatever I'm doing, it must be growing, right? And then if you know consulting, they always say that consultants are scammers, because we always take money from people and then we don't give them value, right? So I've heard that a lot. But again, I'm very, very big on money, right? I'm very, very big on growth. If it's not growing, what are we doing here? Let's shut down immediately. So when I hear tech startup and then I hear, okay, CTV, but it's not your money, I'm like, bruh, so where is my own money inside? So where is my own money? Right? So I mean, the whole point was that, you know what, how can I grow this from ground zero? What can I do to grow this from ground zero to a substantial amount in the metrics that's applicable in this industry, right? So I had to put in on my cap. I had to also do some learning myself, because like I mentioned before, I have no background in marketing, but I had background in just business growth, strategy, execution, all of other stuff, right? So I had to do a bit of like crash course in marketing, and then here I am today. But I always tell people that marketing is not about the numbers. I mean, of course, numbers, but it's not about the analytics. People will drag me for this thing now. I always say that if you want, like, marketing at its core is more about relationships with customers, with people, with stakeholders, than finding your CAC and LTV and this and that. Those analytics are great. Those click rate, whatever, those numbers are great. But the core of marketing, the core of growing from ground zero to find your first customer, from one customer to 10 to 100 customers, is more of relationships, which I excel at, right? So that's like a crash summary about me and about my journey so far. So basically, I brought in my experience helping multinationals and big businesses over the years in different industry, helping them their processes with their operations. I brought it into tech, and I also did a bit of crash course in marketing, just to know that, okay, yes, I'm not a loner in this place. And then when I mixed everything, I'm like, okay, actually, when I mixed everything initially, it was not still making sense. Until I said, what can I do separately? And then I brought a relationship into it, and then it started making sense. But as we progress, I feel like as we progress, I will talk more about it. But yeah, that's like a summary.
Yeah, makes sense. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that thing you said about the core of marketing is relationships, it struck a chord because, I mean, we care about the click through rates, we care about the impressions, we care about all the
The
numbers
reach, all
and
of those.
pushing those numbers. Yeah, but the building relationships with the customers, potential customers, it does make a lot of sense. So yeah, thanks for the
A
insights.
lot of difference. A
Yeah.
lot of difference. Yeah, you're welcome.
So let's talk about market penetration, and especially within
Okay.
an industry when there's a lot of competition, right? It's one of the biggest challenges for startups when stepping into a space that big, where there's already established players and they're already dominating,
Mm-hmm.
right? Competing with
Mm-hmm.
them might feel intimidating, right? In
Yes.
in market like that, what are some of the things that you can do to position yourself differently and to stand out?
Okay, I really like that question because when my co-founder, my CEO, my friend, he had the idea of Nestuge and then he brought me on board before we launched. And I was like, okay, there are already two major players, two major excellent players in this industry. What are we going to do that's going to be different? Right? In this case, you cannot even outspend them in budgeting, except maybe you have to like some money from your, maybe you're like a, Nepo, Nepo, whatever. You're like a Nepo baby, and you
Nepo
have
baby.
money somewhere start, right? That they can be pumping money for you without you making any numbers here, which we both did not have at that point. So at this point, you cannot really outspend the competitors because number one, they already have money, they have numbers, they have tractions, they have whatever to put into ad. So you cannot say, you know what, let's just run ad. Ad is good. Let's just run ad till heaven comes out. You cannot really outspend them because again, you don't have much. Everyone just want yourself dry, right? So again, what I remember this day like it was yesterday. 2 years, 2023. I think it's maybe around July, August. I was in my former office where I was working before. And at that day, Nestuge was making zero, right? Nestuge made their first transaction, which is not even our money, TTV, towards the end of Q3 or I think early Q4. So back then, I was literally thinking, okay, what can I do differently? We have two major players already. I was thinking of different strategies to implement, and I've always known about the the principle of the first three. I don't know if you've ever heard that principle, the principle of the first three. So in an industry, there is like the first company that comes into the market, and then that company is like the first mover. So think of it like Taxify,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we had Taxify. Wait, was Taxify or Uber the first one? I think Uber was the first, right?
Yeah,
But let's think a bit.
Uber, then
Uber was the first,
Taxify,
right?
and the other ones.
So Uber is the first mover. They help create, they shape the market. They shape what the customer experience will ever be because the customer have not seen that product before. So whatever they give them, the customer will take, right? But they have a lot of freaks because in that case, they don't know if the market is even viable. It's a new market, right? But the good thing is that if the market is viable, they will get a lot of customers easily. So that's the first person. The second person, so they are the first mover. The second person is like they come into the market, they adapt or make changes to the weaknesses of the first person. The
Yeah.
first mover, the fast follower, and then the scaler. So the first mover is Uber, the second person Taxify. They come into the market, make changes to what the first person has done, the first brand has done. They leverage on that brand's weaknesses. And the third person is the scaler or dominator. They're also called like the disruptors, right? So I've known about that principle for a long time. Like I mentioned before, in my industry, there were already two major players. Now, when I was
So you
coming
wanted
up,
to be
there
the
was also
disruptor.
under. That's it. So when we were coming up in 2023, there was also on that player that has now closed down now, right? That was also coming up then. So my goal was that I want that anybody will say three digital products one, product two, Nestuge. Do you understand? So that was the goal for a while. Like, you know what? Let us try as much as possible to get into the market and have like a significant say in the market. Do you understand? Now, how can the question I asked was how can a startup um basically position themselves properly in a saturated market,
Yeah.
right? So I had that principle in mind, and I was like, well, what can I do in this space? Okay, I know what I want to achieve now. How can I do that? I could not out budget them. I could not out add them because I didn't have money safe or even bootstrapping as at that time, right? So what I had to do was okay, I needed to figure out what exactly my customers wanted, and I had to niche down on understanding my customers to what they want, what they eat, what they breathe, what they wear. So when I tell you that marketing is not just click rate, reach, impressions, it's relationship. I know creators. Like I was a creator for a while, although I don't take it very seriously, but I know the lifestyle of creators. I understand what they like, right? So I had to hone down on understanding my customers a lot. There's something called out focus. So focus on just what is your and ignore every other thing outside. So my issue was I needed to focus on them a lot and outperform. So in areas I know that my competitors were not doing or were not reaching them, I focused on that. There were a lot of gaps in community building, just understanding creators for what exactly they wanted, and I leaned into that a lot. Right. So for anyone that said that, I would say, for example, I would say that number one, you need to understand your customers more than your competitors do. That's the key to their heart. Understand exactly what their pain points are. Understand exactly why they are buying from you, why they are buying from your competitors, what exactly issues are they expressing that are making them use your product. I did a lot of surveys, right? Sometimes, and that also help you iterate your product a lot. Because I feel like, okay, you know what? Because this product is already in the market, it's already working, right? There's no need of changing solution. Just give them the same thing. And try to get the market share. See what your driver did. If they just said, let's just do on that Uber, it won't work. Right? They had to do on that business model that was a pain point of the customers already. So understand your customers and know, and even us, we also have to change our business model. We don't have a free plan. We did something called pay as you go, right? So as the creator grow, we grow, right? So that's something we have to be able to like figure out like, what exactly the creators wanted, figure out what their pain points are, what exactly is making them spend their money on these platforms, and solve those problems, right? Even figure out what they might not think is a problem for them, but expand it and give it to them as a solution, right? So my advice just be like focus, have a laser focus on your customers, know exactly what they want, build a relationship with them. If someone customer problem, you can solve any customer's problem. Do you get? So yeah, I think that would be my answer for that question.
That's amazing. So I'm going to ask you more about the principle of the first three that you mentioned, but I think
So
I think we're assuming that everybody viewing and watching this podcast already know what Nestuge is. So can you
is okay.
tell us a bit about Nestuge, what you do, so there's more added context to the
Context.
conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Nestuge is a platform for creators, right, to help them host and sell access to their digital products. So you can host your webinars, you can host your live classes, you can host your pre-recorded classes, you can sell access to classes on WhatsApp, on Telegram there. You can host your ebooks, you can host your courses there. And then what we also added was the commission process, right? We set a lot of HNs as high network users, high network creators. And those people cannot do a lot of monotonous tasks because of the high level of the high number of customers they have, right? So where them automate their processes, so automating customer onboarding, automating emails to customers, automating emails to messages to group chats, right? Also even help you onboard your team member to your dashboard, manage team member collaboration. So just think of it as a platform that helps creators with the business of what they do. To help them manage all of their service offerings in one place. You can even manage your bookings on Nestuge, your condition calls on Nestuge, all of those things, right? So we are here to basically just help creators with the business aspect of what they do in one place.
That's yeah, that that sounds amazing. Yeah, so
Thank you.
one of the things you mentioned is community building or just really understanding your customer more than your competitors too. Like the
Mm-hmm.
example you gave about how Taxify now bolts and Uber, and you get a lot of people were complaining about prices or the price and that, and then InDriver came in and they saw an opportunity. They win some market share with that. So that I think that's a great example. So yeah, we're talking
Okay, cool.
about the fast follower. I think that's a very interesting name because they see that something is about to be successful in the market and they're like, yo, let's just build our one really quickly, and then they push theirs out there as well. I find that funny, the fast follower. And then the one after that, because there's already two people in the market and there might not
You have
be enough
something
space,
different.
you have to do something
Exactly.
different. Yeah, so that
Yes.
makes absolute sense. Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes
So
sense.
it's a business principle that I've learned previously in consulting that we also tell clients. So for example, we want to enter into a new market, we figure out who are the competitors in this place. What have they done before? I know what's funny, right? You might the third person might not necessarily be third in line, but the goal is that you're a disruptor. So it might not be that you are the third brand that like I mentioned to you, right? When I came on board, I was also on that company that was also here. Now I don't know when they launched. I don't know if they launched before us. Do you get my point? So
Yeah.
it might not be that okay, yes, we are the number 3 to launch. But the goal is that you have seen a deep gap in the market, you're obstructing the market and scaling through that. Do you understand? So that's like the business, that's like the underlying business principle that you can always build on that.
Nice, nice, makes sense. Okay, so let's talk about acquiring and retaining users. So, in
Yay, let's talk
your
about that.
in your experience, what are some practical ways to acquire early users, like your first users, the ones that would advocate for your products, or just as importantly, how do you convert them into loyal, active customers? Rather than just, oh, come and sign up. We do a lot of flyers. You will just sign up now, like community outreach. You go to different people, you say, oh, we have this new app, quickly sign up. Like they sign up and they never use it again. how do you
Yeah,
how do
yeah,
you
yeah.
prevent that?
Okay, so let me take you back to 2023, right? How I found my first user. Like I mentioned
Mm-hmm.
to you, when Nestuge launched in April 2023, we had 0 users till late Q3 or early Q4. And either September. September is Q3. Oh, Q3 then. Yes, so maybe August, September, that we had our first customer. So let me take you through the depression and anxiety I went through from April
Yeah,
to
because it's
August.
it's many
It's a deep
months.
shit. Can we cause on this?
Yeah.
Can we cause on this? It was deep problem, right? So let me tell you how I found my own first customer. Anybody can always. So again, it depends on your customer. If you're a B2B, B2C customer, finding customers are different. But let's assume we are a B2B and also B2C. Right? Because some companies that use like maybe some academies use Nestuge, right? Even some individuals that like a brand they also use Nestuge. So let's just say B2C or middle line between B2C and B2B. Right? So what I did was that of course people have to know about the product, right? So the awareness has to be there for a customer to make a buying decision. That's the ability to buy your product on an average 8 to 12 times for them to say, okay, I want to invest in this, or I want to use this product. On some exceptional cases when your problem is exactly what they are, when your solution is exactly what they need, they buy immediately. For example, you are looking to buy a car battery and your friend say, oh hi, I have a car battery, oh give me, you buy immediately. You my point? So
Yeah.
on some
Yeah,
on
of
some rare
course.
cases it happens immediately, right? But on an average, a customer needs to see your product, your service 8 to 10 before they make a buying decision. So I knew that in my mind, right? So of course we have to keep on doing the normal, posting frequently, talking to people about the product, about Nestuge, about what they do, about what we do. So, yeah. So however, the challenge was not that people will not just see it and move on to buy it. So this is where one-on-one relationship now came into place. So I had to now do. So we had a lot of people that don't sign up, but they will never use it. So I had to sign up. People don't actively use to sell the product for different reasons, right? So I had to now go on our own back end. People that had signed up but had not used it, reach out to them individually. You hear things like, "Oh, I don't say I don't sign up. I don't sell anything yet." Right? Some people just say, "Oh, don't worry. I need use another platform. I will just test you guys out." Right? So I had a lot of people like that. Then some people actually say, "Oh yeah, I was trying out, but I got stuck. I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, let me have a demo with you. Then I show them, I take them through a demo process, right? So, but for those few months, a lot of churn rate of people just signing up, don't need it, signing up, one is the other, and that was that, right? So, aside going through the emailing list to find people, I also had to now do DM. I even still do DMs today. What people call cold calling or knocking on doors, right? I send out emails to top creators today. Stems to use Nestuge. I send out DMs to top creators to use Nestuge today. So I send out DMs and then some respond, some does not respond, right? And then I have to now, so from them responding, I have to now sell the value of Nestuge to them. After many calls. Okay, let me put my cheapest product and see how it goes. They put on product there. Okay, it's nice. I don't mind it. And then they move all of their product there. Right, so it's a lot of one-on-one relationship at the early stage, right? Especially if you're trying to get your customers, because ad might not really help you do that. So a lot of one-on-one conversation to acquire those customers. Retention is now more in-depth, right? They have to be valued that they're getting for the product, right? We have to offer them something more than just what any other people can offer them. You have to give them more features that they really need to solve their problems. You have to also send emails to them, do other things to them. So that is for them, right? But acquiring at the early stage is mostly one-on-one conversations, getting them to see why they need to use the product, the features I have that they cannot get anywhere else, and then the access. Also, I found out that early on, I linked into this before, having a very, very, very strong customer support, because that was one of the pain that was in the industry. A lot of people felt like they could not get support whenever they had issues with other platforms that they were using. And that's something that I take away, that we cannot have that problem here. Right, so you can call me, even though right now people don't call me anymore because there's a customer support team. But early on, I had to help them manage their expectation, help them with all of those customer support areas, help them get swift response to their problem. So they were able to trust the brand more. Also because they also saw a face to the brand. Right, they able to trust. Okay, yes, Ruth is one of this person. If I have my money, I come and hold Ruth. Right, so being able to trust that, okay, I know they love this brand, I know the brand, they are very, very sweet with their customer support, their product works really well, and very important, the product itself must work. If the product is not working, people will leave, right? So after marketing has done all of their one-on-one everything, the product has to work. And honestly, right, from someone from a consulting background, that was my biggest headache. Bugs, it should not be well with bugs. It should not be well with bugs, because why are we already having one bug or the other? Right? So someone has come into this. Can you hear me? Like, someone has come into the platform, and then there's one bug that is just sitting out there waiting for someone to come in. Right? But I feel like with over how many years now, I've experienced that there always be bugs, but about ensuring that you manage them, solve quickly, figure out where the root cause it, and move on. But yeah, the product has to work when they come in, and that's how you can like retain them on the platform.
All right, awesome. So yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, yeah, bugs are a silent killer, to be honest, and you just have to keep squashing them. You have to have a very strong customer support team. You have to have a strong feedback mechanism, and you have to do a lot of tests. You have to run a lot of automated tests for your engineering. Yeah, amazing. I mean, I agree with you, with the whole one-on-one conversations thing. I think that's one of the most amazing things you can do. In my previous company as well, I did a lot of one-on-one conversations, even at a later stage. Like, I would personally respond to emails, support emails.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes you have to do that, so it doesn't seem like, and they just sent me to a support person. They're giving templated responses.
Template response, yes.
Especially
to be honest, even now I still respond to DM.
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially to your old-time customers that
you can't make them feel like. Yeah. And guess what? They're the most loyal. When customers love you, they go. I mean, they go hard for you. Right, they root for you like to their kingdom come. So for me, it's like, okay, even though every customer deserves the same level of treatment and whatnot, but that feedback that they get when customers see that. I remember one time, right? Nestuge community is very, very. If I'm on an email list, our emails are very, very, very like mushy, nice, written, and everything. People literally respond to the emails. I remember one particular time we released a new feature, an overview feature, and then the customer sent us a very long email, and I'm like, it got me like emotional. He sent a long email like, "Oh my god, this feature is really nice." Explain how he had been doing that for a long time, but it was like, I love that you guys actually listen to us and do what we say we want. So the entire point of listening to a customer, getting their feedback and effecting it, is like their love language on some level, right? So that entire process where a customer like feedback is being implemented, they will appreciate it, and I feel like that was something that we really did well at Nestuge.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing you said that I want to point out is people have to see your products somewhere about 7 to however
8 to 12
times
times
before. Is it
they
8
make
to
a buying
12?
decision.
Yeah, before they make a buying decision. I think that's amazing, and it's like you have to be bombarding them with information left and right. Oh, newsletter here, social media there, websites here, ads there, and they're like, oh, what is actually this thing? Like the first 3 times they see it, they might just swipe through, or if they see
Exactly.
it somewhere, they might just ignore it. But building a brand requires for consistency, like constantly being in people's faces,
Exactly.
because
Top
with
of mind.
so much attention, yeah, so much attention is being fought for right now. People are fighting for attention, and a lot of brands are fighting for attention. So you have to be in their face as well. You have to be able to compete
Exactly.
somehow. And then once they buy
Exactly.
in, then you now go into the conversations, upselling, cross-selling,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do with that. Yeah, I find that quite interesting. So another question I
Yeah.
have, I know we've talked about the ads and the campaigns. In what ways do you think building a brand or storytelling contributes to the process of retaining and acquiring new users?
So do you say in what way building a brand and storytelling help in acquiring
Yeah,
users?
yeah,
Okay, so there's a difference between just marketing and branding, right? I think branding plays a lot in the perception of how people view your brand, right?
mm-hmm.
Or your company, right? And storytelling also tunes into that, right? So I believe that in based on what kind of brand you are trying to sell, your content, your narration, everything should now play into that. So the question is, how do building a brand play into story? Wait, how do building a brand and story playing plays into marketing? Was that your question?
Yeah,
Right? Right.
yeah,
So again, based on the brand you want to get, the storytelling plays a role into that. Whatever content you put out, whatever piece of content you put out, either a graphic design, a video, whatever, the quality of the video, the font size, the colors, the branding image, all of those things play a role into that. So, for example, if you're trying to build like a happy-go-lucky, like Nestuge is a very, very chilled, friendly brand, community-driven brand, and that also plays the kind of things that we post, right? That's the kind of a conversation I have with our customers, right? Even on our page too. So if I try to be like a luxury brand, also like, you know what kind of color should I be using? Most likely gold or other like luxury colors or expensive looking colors, right? So the entire brand, the aesthetic of the brand plays a role in the marketing, right? So based on what it's your goal for the brand, I try to build like a more community based brand. I try to build like a more there's something they call, right, even your communication style. So if your brand solution is luxury, comfortability, affordability, the wordings of your message should speak to that, right? So if you are saying, okay, my brand is solving a problem of affordability or solving a problem of luxury or whatever, the choice of words should also speak to that, and that's also in the storytelling, right? So all of those things plays a role into the entire package
mm,
of your marketing, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I think it
yeah,
plays a
it
it plays a
does.
valid role.
So I have another question for you. So within a
Okay.
startup, we have founders, marketers, designers, engineers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's approaching execution from different perspectives, and
Yeah.
that while that mix can be powerful, they can also get very messy. What are the most common misalignments between founders and the people in the marketing team, or founders and marketers, when it comes to product viability, when it comes to executing, positioning? How,
Mm.
from your experience, how do you collaborate better with other members of your team?
I really like this question because I always say that for me, I don't say lucky, but I think part of the CMO or the CMO or whoever marketing is should also be a co-founder.
Hmm.
I think it helps make the heartbreaks easier. Do you understand? Because early days, right? There'll be a lot of echoes, failures. So me, I'm maybe the out of a founder and also a C and also a CMO, right? So the founders, me and my co-founders has brought in money to run the campaign. Because again, we were bootstrapping, there was no money anywhere, right? Brought in money to run brought in money for marketing budget or whatever, right? We have done it hoping to get 100 users, which now looking back have especially need to be put in place, right? And now it does not achieve that goal. From a founder perspective, it was like, God, should we not just drop this thing and go home? Right? Imagine if the marketing lead is not a founder. The assumption would be that this person doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that for founders, even though we are pulling out money and it's our idea and we love the idea so much and we feel like, but this should work. This product is really good. This product is really like the product might be amazing, but if the positioning is not done right, there is no headway. Right. So those early stage, there'll be a lot of
Heartbreaks.
heartbreaks. Exactly. I need to understand that the goal of that few early months is just to um figure out your GMT, like, is this product viable, right? Have you gotten to product market fit, right? When you get to product market fit, it's easier to scale from there. But forget the product market fit, a lot of trial and errors, which is needed in the business, right? So from a product perspective, have that in the back of your mind. From a marketing perspective, understand that, but also try to work towards achieving results, not just analytics. Don't come and tell me when I run a campaign and then 100k impressions. What does that do to my bottom line? Right? And that's why I said that, see, this thing is not about 100k impressions that Facebook ad will give you, or whoever you're running ads to give you. Very dependent. So from a marketing perspective, understand that this money that you're spending every day on influencer marketing or whatever, not something that, oh, the video went viral. Okay, what does that mean to our back end revenue? Is still at zero, right?
How does it tie into
Exactly. How does it tie
revenue?
in? So
How does it tie into
always think to
transaction
the
volume?
results. Also
Yeah.
think always from a marketing perspective, always think result. Always think, okay, what are the key metrics that this business actually wants, and how is this my marketing strategies trying to help them achieve that key metrics, right? From that perspective, understand that before we get product market fit, a bit of trial and errors, and that will be draining, but is needed, right? And I think it's just from a designer perspective. Designer is more of the UI UX. When we bring in the customers, ensure that the usability is easy, right? It's not
Very
complicated clicks.
important.
That's what that you have to clear out. That, see, before somebody puts their first product here, there should not be like a million and one stages. That was one fact I have to have my co-founder, my CTO. That, see, these stages are a lot. I want them to come on, although I have to understand the reason why. For example, earlier on, I was like, I beg, let this KYC thing, let it be later. Let them put myself when they sell, before they put their money, they must do their KYC. But because my was like, they're already at that point that they're already committed fraud. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
They would
So
have scattered
we need to
everything.
get. So that's kind. But me, I'm like, see, let them make the first money first, but we'll not let them enjoy it. Then they'll give us the ID card. But again, at that point in time, there's a high level of customer frustration, right?
Yeah.
So what we ended up doing was that when they create their first product, before the product go live, You have to
They
submit your
have to
KYC.
complete KYC. Makes
So before
sense.
the product go live, first start taking money. But if you have gone through the process of putting your entire product here, and just because ID card is your problem, then that means you're really a scammer. That one I can't really help you. You're really a scammer. I can't really help you. If you have gone the extra mile of putting your entire product on the people, just like go poly and say put your KYC. I don't do it. It's on you, right? But
Yeah.
I can't tell them because people was like sign up, do this, and do what KYC before you even see what the dashboard looks like. So you don't even know if
Yeah.
the dashboard is easy
I'm
to
an
use,
I'm an
and then you're
advocate
giving them a million and one
for
steps.
yeah. I'm always an advocate for
Exactly.
show them the dashboards first. Let them look around first
Show
before
them.
you
Show
block them.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So me, I was like,
Yeah.
so we have to like pull that process out of the KYC part to later on in the user journey process. You get my point? So at the end of the day, everybody should focus on the customers, right? So what exactly is something for the company, right? Customer retention numbers, customer getting customers. So I think for us at Nestuge, we do something called let the best idea win, and customer is the focus. So right,
Yeah.
for every challenge, like I mentioned, it can be messy sometimes. Different people say, but this design, okay, everybody should come and sit down first. Let us sit down and know what we are doing. What is the best solution for the customer, and let us try to figure out how we can work around that. And then who has the best idea? Sometimes we even do polls. Sometimes me, if me and my co-founders be like, we don't want an idea, we put on the general channel and then we say we'll vote last. So nobody, no employees influenced by us.
Yeah, so your
Say
vote
nobody
does not
should vote.
yeah, it doesn't get
So we'll
swayed.
tell them these are the three ideas. What do you guys think? Everybody will now go and put their poll. We will like to put our poll. Like, when we put our polls, like people can get employees they can fear too much. People should be fearing. Right? So then people should go. We will not vote. People just go and vote and let us know what you think. Right? So honestly,
That
customer
problem, I don't
focus
know how
and
to solve
then
it.
when it's customer focus and let the best idea win.
That makes
Everything should align around the
sense.
customer. I think that will help.
That
That will
makes
help a lot
sense.
with
That
this
makes
thing
sense.
helping you build a solid product, not just
So
based
I
on your
mean,
own
one
ego
of
because you're the
the
founder, because you're the CEO.
yeah, yeah, one of the value
Because again,
one of the values of the team
okay,
has to
guys,
be customer focus. Yeah, sorry. One of the team's
exactly,
values has to be customer focus, customer centric, and even the let the best idea win.
exactly,
The best idea has to be the best benefits to the customer
the
and the
customers,
business. Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
exactly, exactly.
it definitely makes sense, and it's also nice when you're working with people that know how to
The objective,
compromise their objective. There isn't a lot of ego, like because I'm the one that brought this idea,
exactly.
my idea must be the one that goes. I mean, it's best to work with people that don't have inflated egos, that it has to be their own idea, their way or the highway, because as
Mm,
human beings, even though it seems right in our head, sometimes we might be wrong. Sometimes we might be right,
yeah,
but we are wrong within the context of what the situation is. Right. So we
absolutely.
also, yeah, I think finding the best people to work with from jump is like one of the most important
Mm,
things as well. You
mm.
know. Yeah, I
Honestly,
had
hiring for startup is on that jungle. Honestly,
yeah, hiring is difficult, period. Hiring is difficult. I've been I've been hiring for like 4 years now in different capacities, and I don't think it gets easier. It's even getting harder, I think. I think it's even getting harder. I don't uh,
no,
I
but
mean,
the reason why I say startup because I feel like most times for people company that has not raised availability of funds is a bit restricted. So people that
yeah,
are willing to like help you with that early stage and stay with you in the journey, and hopefully when we grow, their money increases. So that entire process, people that are there for the good for the right reason, is a
yeah,
bit harder. It's harder. But
yeah.
yeah,
It's
we keep on
significantly
moving.
harder. And then getting the right talents might be very expensive, but they don't have the time.
Yeah,
They have their own issues
that's
to deal
another
with.
issue.
So how do you convince them to join? Well, it's we'll figure we'll figure it out. We'll figure that part out. So yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense, and we've been able to capture a lot of value from this. I want
Yeah.
to talk about scaling. So we've talked about
Okay.
acquiring, we've talked about team dynamics, market penetration. Let's talk a bit about scaling and sustainable growth. So let's imagine a startup has finally overcome all these issues that we've spoken about. They now have some
Mm-hmm.
traction, they have early users, which gives them a good start. How should they think about sustainable long-term growth? How should they think about that?
So, um, I always, how will I say this now? There are different ways to think about this. I mean, there are different things that need to put into. First of all, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable.
Hmm.
I'm saying this because
Okay.
my co-founders and I we're
Okay.
always attacking the product. Don't get comfortable. I don't know if you remember when Torchlight was an application.
Yeah.
Now, Torchlight is a feature on the phone. The people that build
Yeah.
Torchlight app. Do you get where I'm heading to? So
Yeah, I
don't
do.
build that product that is a Torchlight.
Or you become a feature.
Let your product don't be Torchlight app that somebody will now embed into a feature in their own product. So my point is that don't get comfortable in this industry that you're in. And this analogy was given to me by my co-founder. So he said he sent the tweet, I mean the post, and we're like, she was like, I actually we're not building Torchlights. I say, God, I beg. Everyday problem. Right? So it's more like how should we not get building a Torchlight? Of course, like, and how are you sure? Always be open to changes. Right?
Yeah.
Move fast. Don't always be the person that you're too comfortable. It's working for me, let's just stay there. Right? Move fast, get data. Iterate based on data. What is working in the market? What are people tuning into? Right now, people are saying AI. People are still skeptical about it. Is making changes every other day. AI has made my life 10 times easier, right? But
Mm-hmm.
people are saying like, oh, is CCC 666 in human form, whatever they're saying, right? So my point basically is that get data from your customers, from your industry, apply it and iterate as much as possible. Build fast. Right? This industry is not for anybody. Someone is building the next thing that's going to become a new wave. How can you tap into the industry? How can you build fast? How can you make change as fast as possible? That's number one. So for long term, number two, community building. Like I mentioned before, that marketing and even the brand. Most of the big brands, there's like some level of community around it, right? There's a love for the product. Come does not mean WhatsApp group chat. There's like a love for the product, right? And I didn't even know that. I thought it was just. There was a friend a few years ago. He drives a Mercedes, right? And then I'm not a car freak, so I don't even know. But apparently, one of us high-end Mercedes, right? And then he was driving, and then he saw that person was driving a high-end car. And then they Honda themselves. I'm like, do you know this person? He doesn't know the person, but they're both driving high-end cars. I'm like, okay. And then he heard him tell me that on Saturday or what day they go to somewhere in Via and then they just drive round, like all of these high end cars, they just drive round and drive and drive and drive because that's like
Eco
on Saturday
Atlantic,
morning
I
when the
think.
road is free.
Yeah.
When the road is free and then they just drive on the highest speed ever. Now they're all community, they're all car lovers of this particular car or brand, right? People need to love your product. People need to love what you're selling. So that comes to people that we love, that will say Nestuge, I die here. That what you should be going for. Because you know what's going to happen. And no matter who else coming to the market, they will stay by you as long as you are still giving them value. So I've mentioned data driven like changes. Make sure that you are changing. You're changing fast, but changing based on data, and then also ensure that your customers are the focal point whatever you're doing. Focus on them. Learn about your customers. Build for them, right? Like be obsessed with your customers. Like I always tell them, be obsessed with your customers. Like look out for the 1,000,001 ways whereby that's even why when we bought out the Nestuge plan, people were like, how did you come up with this idea? I'm like, okay. The idea came sometime in February with me. I'm like, okay, how else what does creators like? Creators like the flashy lifestyle, likes to be celebrated. What's one way that we can celebrate them that also ties down to my metric? And I bought about 10k USD plaque. So for us to get the plaque, but I've done 10k USD in sales on Nestuge.
Mm.
Right? So my point is that you need to know what people want to the core and find ways that your product can solve those problems for them. Do you understand? So, of course, also build a product that works. Fix all your bugs, which is almost impossible, but let's fix your bugs fast as they come. Right. So I think for long term, just think customer focused, building for like making changes, doing a lot of research about your industry, what are like the key areas, and keep on building to cover those changes in your industry going forward. So I think that will be my answer to that problem for scaling in the long term. I'm still new, I'm still like 2 years old in this industry, so there might be more things, but these are my 2 cents for now.
So we've covered a lot, right? From market penetration to collaboration and growth, like I said earlier. I would like to leave our viewers and listeners with something practical they can hold on to. What advice can you leave for founders or marketers and even product teams trying to navigate product marketing and growth in Africa today? What advice do you have for them?
Okay, so I would say don't copy and paste. And this might sound funny, but people tell you that, especially in the early stage, right? If we go back to the big 3 principles, right? The strategies that the first mover use, right, to enter the market cannot be what you use as someone that already have a saturated market, right? Because what they used was mostly like maybe the Echo was like the most basic form because it was a new market. People were like more receptive to it, right? So don't just copy and paste what your competitors are doing, even in other industries. You can copy ideas, but always modify to fit into the market that you're playing in, right? So, for example, when I thought of the 10K plaque for Nestuge, right? I know that YouTube already have the 100K subscriber plaque, right? But I didn't just copy that plaque and say, okay, you know what? If my customer have 100 customers, I'll give them a plaque. That does not concern me. Because if I have 100 free customers, I'm not paying them. People sell free products. That's not adding to my key metrics. So I cannot just copy and paste it. I have to like modify and say, you know what? How can I modify this to fit into my industry and fit into the my KPIs that I'm doing, right? I don't just copy and paste strategies. I don't just copy and paste what other people are doing. Ensure that it fits into the local context that you're working with. That's number one. Number two, I'll say something that, see, the concept of growth is very easy. However, it's a byproduct of something, right? The way Nestuge has grown, it has shown me that growth, like, you understand that about 2 years ago, I was struggling getting my first customer, but right now, I don't struggle. People sign up every day without me doing anything. 2 years ago, it was me for every customer that was on Nestuge, I knew for every customer on Nestuge, I was able to figure out how this person came on board. I knew how many demos I had them. I knew how many calls I had them for them to finally come on board. Right now, it's easier, right? But that came because the product was working, right? So, build a product that people cannot stop talking about. Build a product that is in people's mouths. So that's right now, I go on Twitter or X or whatever, don't call it these days, and I see people talking about Nestuge, right? I see people just talking about Nestuge. I'm like, now my Nestuge be this. But again, the product works. So growth is a byproduct of that. So when you build a solid product, a product that actually solves a problem, growth is almost inevitable. Then it's like a personal own, maybe for a personal founder or whatever. Show up on days when things are silent. Show up on days when, like, show up can mean just making it to buy a product. Show up can mean just calling the customer. There will be a lot of hard days. Like those first few months of nothing. You don't want to show up every day in a way that, for the first 5 months, there's no single thing happening, but you show up every day, right? Show up might just be making a tweet, making an IG post, making every small things about it, because those different activities eventually accumulate, right? They just show up constantly. But yeah, I think that would be my advice for marketers. Build for product guy, build a solid product that works. Growth is a byproduct. Growth will come. It might take time. I know I couldn't immediately, but eventually come if the product actively works. And then What the first thing I said? I can't remember. What the first thing I said?
Solid
I
products.
said,
Growth is
yeah.
easy. However, it's a
Oh, I said
byproduct of
about
having
the
a solid
copying and
product.
paste.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
yes. But
copy
first
and
one, first
paste.
one, don't just copy and paste. Don't copy and paste. I feel like those are like different. I mean, there are more things that's more advices, but those are like things that I think has helped me. Not just copy charges from any, even from the competitors too. Actually, yes. For people in your industry in Nigeria, don't just copy from them. It doesn't just work that
Makes
way.
sense.
No, copy from them. Don't just copy, but copy and tweak, iterate, make adjustments, and apply to your own context. That would be my advice for anyone trying to start out.
Makes a lot of sense. You know, you need to have a solid product. I mean, even if you fake it till you make it, eventually it'll catch up to you. Your product needs to be solid. It needs to do what it says
Absolutely.
it does. Yes, it makes sense. Let me ask you some rapid fire questions. So let's do some rapid fire questions, and then
Okay. I like
and
games.
then and then we go home. We're already at home. So, are you a homebody or you must be outside? Which one?
Nah, I'm
Which one are
inside.
you?
I'm inside, but when I go
Inside.
out, I'm outside. Do
Okay,
you get
makes
that? I'm inside,
sense.
but when I go out, I'm outside. When I go out, no, I see that there'll be signs. That's it.
There will be signs that you're outside. So you maximize it. Yeah, I think I'm the
Do
same
that to
way.
the fullest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
do
the
that.
same way. I'm home. I like to make home comfortable enough for me to stay in. But when I go out,
Absolutely.
I really go out. Tea or coffee?
See, it's coffee, but it's not black coffee. It's just the sweet coffee. Because Milo, I don't like Milo. Milo messed up my tummy. But it's coffee, but it's not the black one. It's that thing in one. I feel like coffee loggers be like this, is not coffee. That thing in one is what I drink. And honestly, I
It's
don't
still, it's
even
still,
drink
it's
that.
still
Like,
coffee now.
yeah, exactly. But they might
Yeah,
fight in the but it's still coffee.
it's still coffee. Coffee is coffee, even with the added milk. I mean, it's always
Yeah.
nice to have milk. Yeah, so it's coffee for me as well. So dogs or cats or no pets?
None of the above. Honestly, the way I'm scared of dogs. I still feel like cats are witches. The way I say, like, I don't do animals. If you live and breathe, it must be a human being beside me. If you're not a human being, there's no need to be around me. So I don't do dogs. I don't do monkeys. I don't do anything that does. If I not say come, I are coming normally. You're jumping at me. I'm not around. Just stay where you are. So
Oh, yeah,
cat, dog,
that's
everything.
dogs. Dogs. They would
Mm-mm.
always they
They are
would
too
always run
happy.
at
I
you
don't
and
want.
jump.
And then they say they don't bite.
Yeah.
I beg. I don't
They
do.
say, oh no, he doesn't bite. He just wants to smell you and lick you
Why
and
you smelling me? Please, I beg, excuse me. But no, I don't do animals. And they say that it's for
okay.
responsibility. I'm very responsible for myself and leave me like I
Makes
am.
sense. Makes sense. So Netflix, Prime, or Showmax?
Sorry, Showmax. Showmax is a Nigerian band. If it's a Nigerian band, I support it.
I
If it's a
think
Nigerian
so.
band,
Well,
I think it's an African band. So I will stay there, but they
yeah,
need to do better, Sha. I will say Showmax, but they need to do better with their
they need
movie
to do better.
choices. But I guess they
Yeah,
are promoting African movies. That's why I love African movies there. So yeah. I mean, Africa is land. It's still a developing space. So yeah. So maybe I'll say Showmax. But if we are being honest too, Netflix, because
Netflix.
Prime doesn't love. Yeah, I like reality shows. They don't love that on Prime. But I'll say Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is the king of reality shows. There's Love Is
Yeah, like there's
Blind,
love. There
Perfect
is Love Island. Okay.
Match. Oh, Love
Everything is
Island is
there.
not
The
there.
circle. Yes, I don't know, pick up.
Ultimatum.
The
I've not seen the
ultimatum.
circle.
The
I've
circle.
not seen the
Have
circle.
you seen the is it the moat? Have you something like is it the moat?
The
Ah
mole.
no, the mole,
Is
yeah,
it
I've
the
seen the
mole?
mole.
I've
Yeah, the
not
mole.
seen it
Then
though.
also
I've not
now
seen it.
you see mole,
Is it
you
good?
see trust. Is really good. Oh,
I've not seen Trust
he's
either.
really good. He's really good. He's really good. He's really good. You need to see that one. So I love reality TV. So I'm a sucker for Netflix.
Okay,
Then
okay.
I'll say
Well,
Showmax.
okay. So final question. Are you a morning or a night person?
Honestly, I don't care. Any day, anytime the day meets me, the day meets me. Like I wake up
Ah,
morning, I wake up night. I wake up all night. I work all night sometimes. I don't really. I'm a control freak somehow, so I don't really allow things affect what I want to do. If
I
needs to get them, it's
envy.
going to get them. Because you can get less of the time of the day.
Yeah. By the way, do you have any shameless plugs or
Oh
something
yeah,
you want people to know about?
if you're a creator, an expert that have digital product, use Nestuge, Nestuge, nestuge.com for your
Okay.
ebooks, for your classes, for your webinars, for your one-on-one consultation, for all of those stuff. Use Nestuge.
Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been amazing. Yeah, so follow us on social media at the Pulse of Tech Pod, and stay tuned for future episodes. Thank you so much,
Like, comment,
everyone.
share,
Oh yeah,
everything.
like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
No, this camera work. No,
I
this
don't
camera work. What happened?
understand. I don't. I don't understand
But
what's going
what
on with
happened to
this
this
camera.
camera?
I
Can't
don't
see this camera.
know.